introduction before I invite our keynote speaker, Akafate, to the stage. Let me just say, this is a brave lady who has come a long way, literally from Africa to America, in pursuit of reaching her dreams and achieving her life goals. But more importantly, she is a lady who has overcome so many personal tragedies and beat so many odds to change her challenges into her opportunities. She took herself from a victim, poor orphan that she once was in her native country, Ethiopia, to become a victor and a focused entrepreneur in America. Looking at her petite nature, nobody would guess how brave this woman is. But let me just give you an example of her bravery. She is the first and only immigrant female from Africa who drove a taxi at night for 9 years in the city of Seattle. As if that wasn't brave enough, she worked as a correction officer in an immigration detention center, as well as a wife and a mother of 5 children. Talking about thinking outside of the box, doing things outside of the norm, well, we all know those things are not the kind of jobs that immigrant female consider doing. But like I've been saying, Roman is not only brave, but different. It is her mindset and her attitude towards life that carried her through her most difficult times. Today, she is here to inspire, motivate, encourage, and empower all of us with her presentation so we too can start to think outside of the box and have a different mindset to help us overcome our adversities, obstacles, and challenges and achieve success beyond the norm. Ladies and gentlemen, please turn off or silence your phones and help me welcome our motivational and inspirational speaker to the stage. It is my pleasure to present to you Roman Akafate, the Ethiopian orphan who's beat the odds and achieved success in America. Welcome.
Thank you so very much. Thank you for the wonderful introduction, Simon. My name is Roman Akafate. I couldn't be proud today than being here on this stage in front of immigrants. I dreamed about this day for at least 5 years, and here it is. With my determination and God's help, I'm standing in front of you to motivate, inspire, and encourage and empower you. I'm starting my presentation by telling you a little bit of a story. 2 salesmen were sent to a developing country to study or research a market for corporate office to sell lots of shoes in villages. After going to the developing countries, those 2 salesmen did the research, and one of them called to the office and said, "Don't bother sending any shoes to these villages because there is not a single person wearing a shoes." And then, in a few minutes, the second salesman calls in, and he says, "Please send me as much shoes as you can and as fast as you can, because no person is wearing a shoes in these villages." What's the difference between those 2 people? They're both brilliant salesmen, but one of them saw obstacles, challenges, limitations, while the other one saw huge opportunity, a potential for success. That's my presentation today. I want to talk about changing your attitude, your outlook in life, so you can change yourself and find a positive outcome in any adversity, in any challenge. And my other point that I would like you to focus today is not only changing your attitude towards life, but changing your challenges, your adversities, your misfortunes into opportunities. Like I will tell you shortly about my story. That's exactly what I did. You already heard a little bit of my story or who I am, but I wasn't always the bravest woman that enjoyed taking what is known to be men's trade. Actually, I was a little 5-year-old orphan girl. My mom passed away in 1970 at age 28, leaving 7 children. She was a single mother, and when she died, my brother, who was only 14 years old, became our head of the house. Unfortunately, in a short 2 months, my brother was overwhelmed with my mother's sudden death and being responsible for 6 siblings at age 14, and he started getting ill. As I was told, he had a kidney complication and passed away. When that happened, our life, as we had known it, changed completely. The next thing to do was for us to be separated and sent to different relatives' homes. So our relatives took each of us, and we start life living in different villages, in different houses, with different relatives. At age 5, from the place I was born in Addis Ababa, where there was TV, electricity, telephone, and of course, whatever comfort that technology gives, I was taken by my great-grandfather to a rural Africa, or I should say in rural Ethiopia, and I became a shepherd girl, where there is no light, no faucet water, no phone, and no TV. It took me a while to adjust to that life. I had so many illnesses, from parasites to head lice to bed bugs, as the country people live with their domestic animals. There's a lot of fleas and lice and all of those things, plus no clean water. I survived. I even grew to like the country life. But in a short 7 years, after I adapted and started to like that life and felt at home, the person that took me in, my great-grandfather, who was age 80 when he took me in, aged and passed away at about age 86 and 87. Now I had to find another place to go. So I was sent, or I should say I was just taken at his funeral by another relative.